extraordinary. Experience Shamir, extraordinary. My town extraordinary. South Tico extraordinary. Hatta rhyme extraordinary. Everything I talk extraordinary. My blessings extraordinary. Oh, cause it is serious. Yani extraordinary. Tunapanda drastically. Tumetoka mbali. Say extraordinary. You know we extraordinary. Kila siku extraordinary. Extraordinary. I woke up extraordinary. I went to bed extraordinary. Every day extraordinary. We extraordinary. XP extraordinary.
We are now at Ferry. On your right, as you can see, is the Aga Khan University. This is the turn just before the ferry. The last turn just before the ferry. On your right is the Aga Khan University. We are now approaching Kizingo. Kizingo is where we find State House, Mamangina. Water Park is they're all found in this area of Kizingo. So now this is Kizingo. We're turning left. It's a high-end area. It was built by the governor of Mombasa, Hassan Ali Joho. On the right also we have one of the oldest schools in Mombasa, Coast Academy. It's also situated here in Kizingo. The next junction on the left, as you can see from the billboard, indicates you are going to Mamangina Girls Secondary School, now a national school. We are now approaching the urban police area, or the urban police station. The turn there, as you can see, goes towards Mamangina Water Park. The next turn, as you can see, goes towards State House, the Presidential State House. Now on the left, now we have the urban police station. It's also one of the oldest buildings in Mombasa. It used to be a colonial administration center in the 19th century. As you can see, there is the billboard. You can see the DCI, the urban police, Kenya Police Service. Now this is the Law Courts roundabout. On the left you go to Pandia. On the right hand side, you go to Mombasa Hospital. We are now approaching Nguruma Road. We've just turned now. On the left is what is called the Hyderi Lane, where the Hyderi offices are. Hyderi is a shipping company. We are now approaching the old bonded warehouse, which were once owned by the government, but they are now privatized. The bonded warehouses historically are old buildings. They also built before independence. We are now approaching the county government offices. As you can see now, we have turned left. We are heading towards Nguruma Road. On your right hand side is the county park. On the left is KCB Bank, and also at the far left you have the Central Bank of Kenya, Mombasa headquarters. We are now approaching Fort Jesus. On the left there you can see Bank of India, which was established in the 19th century in Mombasa, the early 19th century. On the right we have the Butterfly House. It's popular with the tourists from Europe. We have now arrived at Fort Jesus. On your far right you can see the tall fort, the walls of the fort. The Fort Jesus. You can see the cannon, the old cannons, which were used by the Portuguese. The Fort Jesus is under the United Nations. It was declared a heritage site, an international heritage site by the United Nations. And it's one of the main attractions down at the coasts. As you can see, directly opposite is the headquarters KCB. The building is one of the oldest buildings, and it was also an administration office during the colonial times. Now on the left, we are heading towards Old Town, directly at the heart of Old Town Mombasa. Buildings here are generally old. Most of them were built by during the pre-colonial times. Its inhabitants are mostly the natives of Mombasa, the Swahili and Arabs. On your right is the popular Barka restaurant, which is popular with politicians around in Mombasa. On the left we have Tarbush. As you can see on the left we also have the police station, the central police station. Now we are Tarbush. These are Tarbush and Barka are popular eateries in Mombasa. Usually they usually fill to the maximum in the evening. On the left is the Makadara grounds. The Makadara grounds where people in Mombasa came to celebrate the independence of Kenya in 1963. It's also in Old Town. We are now approaching Digo Road. Now on the left is Posta, formerly known as Kenya Post and Telecommunication. That's the headquarters. Posta. Also on this building we find the Huduma Center. The left, as you can see, is the Huduma Center. You can even see the logo. You can see the billboard there written Huduma Center Mombasa. Now we are in town now. This area is called Posta because of the post offices. It's also one of the main stages in town. As you can see, matatus they are arriving. People are alighting from the matatus. On the left is also, you have the Bima Tower. Now it's an administration building. You can also see the Naivas town. It was formerly known as Budget, now it's Naivas. On the left is also Standard Chartered Bank. Now we are at Fontanella. We are now at Fontanella. There used to be a huge font, but it's no longer there. There used to be a huge water fortune, but it's no longer there. And on the left, far left, you can see the old Holy Ghost Cathedral. The building is over 100 years. It was built in the 18th century by the colonial government. Holy Ghost Cathedral. The road opposite is on your way to Ferry. Now we are at Moy Avenue. Still at Fontanella. Now we have just entered Moy Avenue. On the left is the famous White Castle Hotel, which is predominantly built by mud. And it's also, it was cited as a heritage site by the Museum of Kenya. It's protected also. This is Moy Avenue. On the right, you have the Uganda Properties building. Also on the left, you can see we have Katy Tours. We are now approaching the famous Elephant Tusks. On the left, the road just on the left is on the way to the Casablanca Club. We have a number of clubs here. As you can see, that one we have just passed is called San Siro. Moy Avenue is also, primarily we can say, is also a red light zone. It's one of the most popular red light zone in Mombasa actually. As you can see, those are the beautiful elephant tusks and the elephant statue there. On the left, you also have an old building called Marco House, one of the oldest buildings, also one of the oldest buildings in Mombasa. Generally in Mombasa, we have many old buildings. On the left is the club called 04. very popular with the youths here in Mombasa. It's also at Moi Avenue. Also now it's also another KCB office, KCB Bank. On your left, you can see the KCB Moi Avenue branch. Now we are at Ganjoni. You can also see the Posta Ganjoni. Now we are at Ganjoni. This is the Ganjoni roundabout. Now we're heading towards docks. The tall building with antennas on top is called Cannon Towers. Mostly it's that's where you find most of the clearing agents, and the officers are also there. Yeah, basically the building and the offices there are just clearing offices, 90% of them. Now heading to docks. This area is called Express. We are now approaching CMC Junction. As you can see there, the logo CMC. The area is known as CMC. On the left is the Ola petrol station, formerly known as Oil Libya. As you can see there, the railway, Kenya-Uganda Railway. That's one of the old railway line that used to go to the port. Now, as you can see, we are leaving we are still at Moi Avenue now, to docks.